Welcome to Grimm Gals, where we talk about death, grief, gore.
And how we live with it.
I'm Abby Ballin.
I'm Valeria Nanetti.
And today we have Mars O'Neill with us.
Hello.
Welcome, Mars. Super
Thank you.
excited to have you.
Appreciate it.
So, this is your camera, Mars. I want you to just quickly introduce yourself. Tell the world, who is Mars?
That is a good question. That's a very philosophical question. Oh, God, I hate this. No, my name is Mars O'Neill. I am a Miami, Florida comic, show host, entertainer in general, Neil deGrasse Tyson impersonator. Whatever people pay me to do. So, yeah.
Isn't that funny how we are all just like such whores in that? Like, we will just do whatever.
Oh, man, I sold out so hard.
Meanwhile, to a lot of people,
Mhm.
they would be so envious to do what you do, and it sounds so fun and so
Yeah.
cool. But isn't that funny how we think of that? Like,
Yeah.
ask yourself 5 years ago, would you love to have been doing what you're doing? You'd probably been like, hell yes,
Yeah,
that's
I'm driving
awesome.
a freaking truck right now. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and you're like, that's amazing. And then now you've been doing it for a few years, and you're like, all right, now this is like, so
Oh,
like,
God,
yeah, the bitterness
Mhm.
comes in, and it's funny to think about that throughout the years and the different like milestones you make, and how long does it take before you stop appreciating and
Yeah.
stop being grateful for these opportunities that actually
Yep.
are pretty amazing that we even get to do any of this
Mhm.
stuff. So you said you travel, and it's a game show,
Yeah,
right?
it's a game show. I basically travel city to city, town to town in a big old van. All the equipment's in there, speakers, projectors, blah, blah, blah. I go to a high school or college, set it all up, host the show, give the money or prize to the winner, throw it all back in the van, and go to the next town and do it all over.
Are you by yourself doing this?
No,
or-
I have a partner / DJ / person I have to babysit because 9 times out of 10, they're like a 19, 20-year-old.
Oh, they're different every time.
Yeah, so I've had a few different contracts by now, and it's just like sometimes it's good, most of the time it's bad. Yeah.
Did you create the game show? Or?
No. Oh God, I
Oh.
wish. But yeah, just my boss gives me a schedule. You got to be here on this day, here on this day, here on this day, and I just gotta put hotels in between.
Oh, interesting.
So how long are you on the road?
About 3-4 months at a time.
3-4 months at a
Yeah.
time. Holy moly.
And I'm trying to find mics in between there so I can keep up with my stand up. And 9 times out of 10, I could find something.
So 3 or 4 months at a time, are you only doing the show on weekends, or do you also do it during the week?
Through the week, it's usually high schools. Weekends, it's usually colleges.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many days a week are you doing?
Yeah.
5, sometimes 6 days.
Wow, you do a new show 5 times a week?
Yeah. So different high school every Monday through Friday. Sometimes a college on Saturday. Every now and then a college on Sunday. That's
Wow.
most of the schedule. Yeah.
Are you hooking up with the college kids?
Next question.
No.
I couldn't even say that word right. Next question.
Yeah.
There we go.
You're like, I plead the fifth, and I can't even plead anything
No, it's
right
just-
I need an attorney present.
You are begging for trouble if you do that because
You're
No,
not
you
supposed to. You're
absolutely
not
Yeah.
shouldn't.
supposed
You
to.
absolutely should. But when you hear about anyone,
Yeah.
man, woman, anyone traveling around from college to college, you're like,
yeah.
how are you not?
Yeah.
How are you not?
And hookup culture is like so prominent that it's like expected, but I'm like, you're begging for trouble when you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
think you have time. You're probably like tired, right?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
Just
when
like,
you're done, you're like, all right, I'm
oh my
going
God.
home.
And so many girls said, "Oh my, so you travel? Oh my gosh, that's so cool." And by this time, I'm like sweating, putting all the equipment away. I'm just, could you please leave me alone?
Yeah.
If you're not gonna help me pack this in the van, just go away.
It sounds like Mars looking for a wife.
I am.
Fuck
Well,
these little girls.
Yeah, but that's what's funny. So I had my big job last week, which
Mhm.
was like a few times a year I do these boat shows, and
Nice.
they're exhausting. It's like manual labor.
Yacht parties?
There's some parties involved.
Okay.
There's some parties involved, but it's a lot of just like selling yachts and assisting in
Mhm.
selling yachts, and so it's a lot of money on the line. And my job is to make everything run smoothly and look pretty
Yeah.
and document the thing. So it's great, but it's exhausting because
Yes.
it's a lot of setting up and breaking down, and like every other person has like a crew of like 10 men, and for whatever reason it's like my boss and 3 other girls and
Yes.
and it's like, I get it, we love it, but like we're not built for this. Like I'm not built to be building furniture, moving boxes, on boats that are like, you have to like, they're
everything is compact. Yeah, I
everything's
know.
compact. It's
Yeah.
a lot. Everything hurts. Everything hurts right
These
now.
are really serious gigs you guys are doing. Like, this isn't no
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
No, but I guarantee you, you're already a producer, so
Yeah.
your producer credits are just leveling up right now, right?
Yeah. So I'm exhausted, and then I'm working with a 20-something-year-old, and she wants to go have a dick appointment after we've just worked like a 14-hour
Hell
shift.
no.
And I was just like, I'm lying on the floor on a yoga mat with a back roller next to the 42-year-old woman coworker, and I'm just like, the last thing I would want right now is for someone to fuck me. Like, I'm just like after working those long days, like that sounds like torture.
Yeah.
Like maybe you could go down on me, but that's it. Like I do not want to do anything. Like this is painful.
Well, what's your motivation to like do these type of gigs? I know because it's like very seasonal work. Both you guys are independent, right? Like you guys are self-employed. Like what motivates you? Like,
You want to go first?
Well, I do. So I'm gig based, and a lot of that is one because of just the working in a creative field,
Yes.
and to be able to support myself. Then sometimes you do take these jobs that maybe aren't the most creative, but give you the financial freedom to do the more creative jobs. And my line is, at least do I like the people I'm working with usually, and is the money there? And then I'll sacrifice a little bit of my creativity or something like that, and do something that like personally feels like I'm getting a little too old to be doing. Like it's hard, but it allows me to do a lot of the other stuff that I love.
yeah.
It's a young man's game.
Yeah.
It's a young man's game, and you gotta like get to a certain level to be able to continue doing this later in life. Because I see a lot of my friends that work in production that are older.
Yeah.
Oof, this must be strenuous. What about you? I mean, you're actually a man, so how do you feel about it? You're strong.
You're a man.
You're strong. You can pick things up.
That means I can do all the physical labor. No, I don't want to. I'm almost 40. I hate this
Are you
stuff.
serious,
Yeah.
Mars? I thought you were like 27 this whole time.
God, stop it.
I thought you were like 20. I was like, look at him, he's so young.
If I shave the mustache and the sideburns, I'm 27. But I'm 38.
Oh my
39.
God, no
He's
way.
so old he doesn't remember his
Mars,
age.
I thought you were 26.
Okay.
Well,
Thank
listen.
you, I think. Ow.
Yeah, I mean,
Now I feel old. That made me feel old.
listen, she doesn't say her age, but the reality is we're all around the same age. It's fine. We all
Listen,
look
fine.
amazing.
I'm
we made
42.
we made a deal with the devil.
Oh, God.
She's not. Now she's lying at older.
27.
My mom actually used to do that for years, lie older, so people would be like, "Wow, you look great." And then when people stopped saying, "Wow, you look great," she was like, "Fuck," you know?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's not.
No, I
that
get
doesn't
it.
work when people believe it.
Yeah.
When people believe that you're actually that older age.
Yeah.
All right, so we sent you. I think Valeria sent you a couple topics, a little bit heavier.
I
So
just sent you one topic,
Yeah,
actually.
and it was weird because like, you should explain the context before you send me the link.
What was the link I sent you?
You just sent me a Wikipedia page on AIDS. I was like,
I just want you to read a little bit of it, like how it started.
well, you sent it to me in the middle of a show, so I was like, right before I was going up on stage, I was like, does she have AIDS?
Oh no!
Oh my God!
I just,
Oh no! Can you be a doctor and prescribe me? She's asking for questions. Does
Well,
this sound right to you?
Well, because the only reason why I chose that topic is because we're all the same age, allegedly, apparently, supposedly.
Okay.
And then didn't we all hear at some point where like we thought that like AIDS came from some guy having sex with a
Little
monkey, right?
Yeah, I heard that.
Right, but it did arrive from monkeys. It did, but not necessarily because someone had sex with the monkey. It was because an infected monkey's blood got into the bloodstream of a human, and then it started like adapting, and it became HIV because then monkeys is SIV. You know, and the whole and it's a lot to read. I know. I thought it was fascinating. I couldn't stop reading about it. But maybe not
did you
people
read?
share
Did you
that.
read the Wikipedia?
I did not because I was going up on stage.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not gonna read this and then talk about AIDS for 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do a 10-minute set on AIDS.
Yeah. So
yeah.
she sent me like
the plague for her.
Yeah, I had plague was my homework as I'm doing my makeup. I'm listening to people like dying from rat
bubonic
fleas
plague.
and shit. But it's funny because like my whole thing with starting the show was like very much like on like the human perspective surrounding death, mortality, grief, and making it like normal conversation of
Yeah.
topic. And she got on board with that. However, she's like, let's get into the gore and the weirdness and the diseases. And I'm like, we could
It's
like
so
this is
me.
this is where we don't meet, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I get on board with, but I'm like, fuck,
Let
it's
me tell you
weird,
something.
man. It's
Every night I watch either one or two documentaries on a murder, unsolved murder, or some type of epidemic, pandemic. Right now I'm obsessed with the 14, 15, 1600s and how people were living, the diseases.
And how they died at younger than us.
Yeah,
and that
die
was
like the
normal.
bubonic plague. You would catch it within 2 or 3 days. You were done. You were done. Even in 24 hours, sometimes you
Oh
were
my
done for.
God.
that was the sad thing that when I was listening to the thing about the plague.
How
is that
scary, right?
the minute you were found out you had the plague, you had to be isolated, and you knew you were going to die within a day or two.
Correct. There was no escaping
one,
it,
and no one could be around you. So you
Because
just
you're
had to
highly
be
infectious.
alone with your,
and it was painful.
and it was painful. And the closer you got
Oh
to
my
death, the
God.
more painful it got, because it was
And
basically
you had boils coming out. You had a
You
fever.
can't even whisper or
Yeah.
scream to your
It-
loved
it's
ones.
literally a zombie. It's
Nah.
like it's like becoming a zombie. Like if you caught it, there was no cure. That was it. You were done for.
all right. So biggest fear of dying, like what would be your worst way you'd want to
Why
die?
would I say it? I have it documented.
I know everyone thinks we want to kill them when we ask.
Yeah,
We ask this.
you
Do we
know.
do we look like killers?
Killers don't look like killers, so I think that's what makes
Ooh.
them, good at killing. I'm not going to answer that for Grimm Gals.
Fine.
And both of you were smiling, like, oh my gosh, no.
Yeah, we're citizens.
Okay, would you rather die in your sleep or while having sex?
Ooh. Sleep, of course. That's embarrassing to die during sex. Then your partner's like left there with your dead body. You're like,
No.
you couldn't handle it.
And right, it's like a
Isn't
good
that
trip.
that's a Richard Pryor joke, isn't it? Like,
Is it?
his dad died having sex.
Did
and-
he?
Yeah, and then
Oh,
the
shit.
girl that he was having sex with, like, she couldn't even give her, she couldn't give it away
Oh.
because people were just like, no, that's poison.
Oh
Yeah.
no, that's
Yeah.
fun. Oh, that's
Oh,
interesting.
wow.
I never heard that
yeah,
one.
but both those ways are perfectly fine with me. Yeah, just I don't care about the the other person who I'm sharing the
Oh,
bed
yeah.
with. Yeah,
Did you have like a celebrity death that was like impactful for you?
yeah. Norm Macdonald.
Oh,
That
Wow.
was a big
Oh,
one.
Norm
Yeah.
Macdonald.
That was really sad.
Because I've read his book like 3 times, and then like the third time I was reading his book, that's when he passed away. I'm like, oh my god.
Really? You read
Yeah.
his book? I'm gonna read
Yeah.
his book now.
Yeah, he's got
yeah,
a
I
good
didn't
book.
read his book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read Steve Martin's book.
Oh,
Which was really
Born
good.
Standing Up.
Yes.
Yeah,
Have you read it?
yeah,
It's so good. It made me cry.
yeah.
Oh.
I cried right
All
reading
the ups
it.
and downs.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the business stuff he was talking about, the show business part.
Yeah, but
Oh.
he was in a different time.
Yeah,
like
that was
you
a
know,
very
I don't know
different
if we can do it now. Like,
No,
Well,
hey, you
sucks.
asked me a question about I don't think I ever answered it.
Which one?
About what made me get into entertainment like full time or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No,
Abby
we do this
answered
a
it.
lot.
Now you
We-
answer it.
We hop around. We
No,
do a
that's
little
fine.
hopping.
no, yeah. Wait. What keeps you motivated to do what you're doing?
I just don't want to go back to my warehouse jobs. So like when I was like young and in my 20s, I was working these warehouse gigs, and I had an idiot boss, and I'm like, I know, I'm not the funniest guy around, but I know I'm good at like performing. I got to find a way to make money off this because my idiot boss there's no way this idiot is getting paid more than me, doing less work than me. So, I got to figure this out.
Wow.
So,
And
yeah.
that brought you into this talk
Yeah.
show thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I see you in like those movies with like with the movie This is the End.
Oh, yeah.
I
With,
feel like you were like perfectly fit into that movie. Like
Well, I this sounds stupid, but I've looked up roles that Seth Rogen didn't get so I could try to
Mm.
get them.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I'm like rejected roles of Seth Rogen, rejected roles of, such
that's
and such person
funny.
who I think I could do. And I'm like, all right, let me just shoot these producers or casting directors my demo reel and nothing.
Wow,
Mm.
you seem like a really sunny person. So like,
Oh,
how do
thank
you
you.
feel about death in general? Like,
You gotta accept it. The end is the end, so
I misheard that, and I thought you said you got to be accepted. Like it's like a graduation or something. And like I applied, I haven't made the cut
only
yet.
the cool kids die. Yeah.
ah,
Oh god.
Yeah, my mishearing has
Yeah.
it's gotten me in trouble a few times. Yeah, I think that's kind of so we were saying the general consensus because every person we've had on the show has been a comic,
hmm
and I feel like with comics,
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
we're all on the same boat.
yeah, we're like kind of making fun of it.
We're all the type that like peek behind the curtains, lift up the rug.
Mhm.
We're looking at it.
What's
we're not
going on
hiding.
back
We're
there,
not
yeah.
hiding from anything
Yeah.
to do with life. And it's interesting in comparison to the everyday person who generally likes escapism
Yeah.
and hiding from the facts and would rather not turn over that stone
Yeah.
and stay away from it. So it's interesting because it's like, yeah, we're going to have a lot of similar themes bringing on comics because as much as our humors might be different, we all kind of have a general background that brought us here.
Exactly. So like we go up on stage. Like I try to explain this to people, especially to my friends who are funny but don't want to perform. I'm like, you're talking to strangers about your deepest, darkest things. We do that with each other. Like, and we make each other laugh about our, our worst places, worst stories or whatever.
Yeah.
Now you're just gonna do that on stage and probably get a free drink, get a free beer.
Well, let me ask you a question. Like, what was the first experience you had with death?
With death, well, when I was young, a lot of my older family members died, but I didn't really know them too well because I was just young. And now I'd say I've been lucky or blessed or whatever. The past 20, 30 years, even my oldest family members have lived. So nobody in my immediate family has died.
Oof.
But now I have a feeling that like it's gonna happen within like the span of like 2-3 years. That like every 3-4 months somebody's passing away.
Oh no!
It is kind of what happens, especially. Are your parents still together?
Yeah.
So like a lot of times when they have had a long marriage and one goes, it's not far before the other one is gonna go afterwards, and you see that a lot, which is kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
It's kind of beautiful that they didn't have to
together.
They didn't have to live that long without each other. But that's nice because almost every person we brought on the show has had a lot more experience with death. So it's nice to have somebody who's actually kind of been free of it.
Yeah, I guess that's why I'm sunny.
I was so in this position. I don't know, but on the surface, I don't know.
I had a friend in high school who passed away, but in a weird way, she always kind of knew it. So. She wasn't a comedian or anything, but she was just like, yeah, it's going to happen sooner or later.
What happened to her?
She was born with like heart problems.
Right. So that's
okay.
So she knew. She had a clock.
So I met her in first grade, and then in like fourth grade she had heart surgery. She was like, oh my gosh, it's right around the corner. It's going to happen. She was never like sad about it, but she's like, my life is a limited time offer. I'm glad to be here with you guys, but
I wonder if she like induced her death because sometimes like if you
no, I think they probably just prepared her whole life. So there's a difference between when you know something's gonna happen. We discussed this a little bit. Like if you know you're gonna die, you live fully because you're like this. Every second counts.
Exactly.
So if you're prepared to say like, hey, you're only gonna live to be like 12, 18, whatever. Like you kind of are like kind of more okay with it because you're like, okay, this is how long I got to get all this stuff done, you know, and you might be panicking towards the end.
You got a little bit of a checklist, but you're just like, oh man,
yeah, you might be a little more panicked, but. So I said one of the reasons why I'm so comfortable is I feel like it was never sheltered from me. So like I was going to funerals as a kid, and sometimes they were of kids who had passed.
Oh
so it was like one of those things where it was like I always knew it's an option.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have it happen when you're old. It can happen at any time. And so like I was more curious about it than scared because I was like, this is part of life.
Yeah.
Where a lot of times people are sheltered from it and they don't realize it until it happens, and then they don't know what to deal with it and do with it. So why I brought up do you want to?
Oh no, go ahead.
So why I brought up the celebrity death is like I know this episode's going to air in a couple months. However, we just lost Matthew Perry, which for the white community is like a huge loss.
Goes out to you.
Yeah, I feel like it's heavily in the white community because that's pretty much the people who watch Friends, and to me. It was like Friends was definitely like a show I watched with my sister. It was like
I could not watch that show.
Me neither.
Yeah, I hated it. I didn't find anything funny.
Ironically enough, I want to kill myself every time that show.
Yeah. Thank you. Me too. I did not get it. My mom liked it. I'm like, why are you watching that?
I would never insult people who genuinely enjoy something.
Yeah, exactly.
Enjoy whatever you want to enjoy. It's just not for me.
It was not for me either. I tried. It was like watching Seinfeld. I just couldn't.
Oh, no, that's
so I watched that, but also this is also part of it. I'm from New York. I grew up I
thought you were always from here.
No, I'm from New York. So watching Seinfeld, even though they're somewhat unrealistic and everyone makes fun of the fact that Friends is unrealistic. But however, it's not. I knew a lot of people who grew up in rent-controlled apartments that really paid like $600 a month, and they did live in their little bubbles of the same people in the same friend group, and they didn't really associate with a lot of different
There's
cultures.
no need if you have everything there.
They had everything there. So it's not actually that false if you are lucky enough to be in that little bubble.
Yeah.
And so even though, yes, I think for me watching Friends was more of a connection to my sister, a connection to where I'm from, and at this point now almost a nostalgia thing.
Yeah. I can see that.
But to me, the loss of him wasn't really sad until I was like, oh my God, I thought about Jennifer Aniston, I thought about Courtney Cox, and I just thought about that was what made me cry. Was like, oh, they just lost a super big friend, a big important friend, and I'm never really sad about when someone dies.
Yeah,
I'm sad for everyone else they left behind.
Now they gotta
really. I'm not. When it comes to celebrity deaths, there's really no deaths that ever made me feel anything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know these people. Like, yeah, they're amazing. I'm sorry they died, but am I crying about them?
No, I cry a lot for a lot of people, and I'm embarrassed.
Oh,
like
you
I'm
like
like
crying.
What?
You like crying?
I don't know if I like crying, but I'm very emotional when it comes to.
So you have no problem expressing that with a sad movie or anything?
Oh, I cry a lot in movies. I cry, but I'll laugh about it. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
It's good to cry.
You don't know this person. Like,
when is the last time you cried, though?
Crying. Oh, yeah. When's the last time?
Last time I cried. I know if I watch a few movies out there, I will cry, but...
Which movie makes you cry?
I like, The Iron Giant. Definitely.
What? The Iron Giant. Is that with the Andre the Giant?
No.
What's Iron Giant?
Is that the cartoon, right?
Yeah, the animated one with Vin Diesel as the voice of the
Okay, that makes you cry? That's interesting. Okay.
Animated movies can be very sad.
Yeah.
No, I've cried in animated movies. I don't know about the Iron Giant.
No,
okay.
the Iron Giant was good. I like this movie called The Brothers Bloom with, who's the guy? Mark Ruffalo, and who's the guy that did
I've never heard of Brothers Bloom.
It's kind of indie. Ryan Johnson directed it. These two brothers, they're con artists. Well, I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Yeah.
They're two brothers, they're con artists. One of them falls in love with the person they're supposed to trick, and then, obviously things go bad.
Oh, yeah. And that made you cry. Okay.
It's the other guy with...
that made you cry.
Who's the guy from King Kong with he's the white Snoop Dogg. They call him the white Snoop Dogg. Very beaky nose.
Owen.
No.
Matthew Mc...
He did the 2005 King Kong movie. He was in... God, can I Google it? Is that okay to do?
Yeah. That's
okay.
Yeah.
He did the...
I can't believe Mars is crying
You're
over
not
here.
talking about Adrian Brody.
Bro, that's
Yeah,
him.
okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Him and Mark
They
Ruffalo.
call him the white Snoop Dogg?
He looks like a white Snoop Dogg.
Oh, looks like.
Yeah.
But I'm like, he's like totally not the same
No,
vibe.
I obviously.
Okay.
Those two, there's another one called Freak the Mighty. And I think...
I love that every movie you said I've never seen.
No. Never heard.
But
But you're crying, tears going down your cheek.
Just like slow tears. Just
oh my God.
No, not that, but just like...
Yeah, I got you.
Freak the Mighty is one boy who's like handicapped who walks with like two canes, and another one that's like mentally...
Oh, no.
I just realized now, all these movies are about like male friendships.
I was going to say, so I've asked this question from
Yeah.
when I dated men, and I asked, what makes you cry?
Yeah.
It's always like that. It's like male bonds and becoming a man. Like when they had to like step up to the plate for some kind of thing. It's like connected
Oh my
to,
God. Yeah, that's Freak the Mighty. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Freak
like
the
what
Mighty is
that's
that.
what men cry at in films. And for me, it's like it's more heartstringy, emotional. Like when anything dies. The
Yeah.
dog dies, forget about it. I couldn't even watch Game of Thrones because they chopped off the horse's head in like the first episode, and I was like, I'm never watching this.
Did you get into Game of Thrones? I didn't. Honestly, it was way too many people, too many characters. It was like all these things, all these stories. I'm like, this is annoying. Like I barely can get through the first season, and I was like, and it's just too much sex, like too much
Never
nudity.
enough sex. What are you talking about?
I'm not into that. Like I don't care to see that. You know what I mean? I'm like, what? And then
You got dragons. I'm already hooked. You don't have to throw in the...
I was not into it. I can't watch anything dramatic on TV. I can only watch comedy stuff. I cannot deal with any soap operas, dramatic
But
shit.
you don't like Seinfeld?
I don't like Seinfeld. I was forced to watch that by one of my comedy friends. And I didn't get it.
I
It's
think
such
it's
dry
one of the-
humor, I guess.
I think it's one of those things though, like you had to watch it closer to when it was like on.
But
'cause,
that's
like,
even when
things
it was
change.
on, I didn't like it. Like Frasier,
I didn't really like
everybody
Frasier.
loves
I didn't like-
Raymond.
I didn't like that either. Yeah, but
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld had really good writing and
Yeah.
characters.
I didn't care for it, but when I went to see Jerry Seinfeld doing stand up because someone invited me, because I would never have gone if somebody didn't invite me.
Really?
I no, they invited me. I'm like, fine, I'll go see him. You bought tickets. He was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah,
I
of
could not
course.
get my eyes off of him for the entire hour, and from that I was like, wow, he's amazing. But I'm still not watching Seinfeld.
Do you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
It's
It's totally different. Curb Your Enthusiasm
It's
is
not
way
totally
better.
different.
It's not totally-
Yes, it is. It's way less cheesy than Seinfeld. Totally. Yeah. My favorite comedy thing is right now is they ended 30s Rock.
30 Rock,
is
yeah.
30
good.
Rock is one of my favorite, all-time favorite
could never get
ever. I watched series like 2 or 3 times. Like that's how good it was. I love it.
But
So
hold
good.
on,
Tina Fey's
back
my
to
favorite.
Seinfeld because I just love Seinfeld. You do understand that Larry David is George?
Yeah.
I do understand
Okay.
that, but I prefer watching I think Curb Your Enthusiasm is like way better. Like it's written better. It's more chill. It's kind of like the other thing with
I think
that
it's just
guy.
more
Larry,
modern. I think
Yeah.
it's more contemporary.
what's his face? Gary Shandling. Gary Shandling. His show.
Oh yeah. Okay.
His show. I like his show too. Whatever his show was.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right, let's back on topic. Let's reel this in. We're getting a little too
Happy,
happy.
cheery.
Yeah, this is too
It's because Mars.
Positive.
Mars
Yeah.
with this sunny delight attitude. Like,
sunny delight.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
okay, what animals have died in your life? Be honest.
Animals, plenty of goldfish. I had a
Well-
couple of rabbits when I was a kid. And
What are these pets? This is why
A
you have
rabbit
no
and a
de-
goldfish.
Goldfish?
I had. This is
Sounds like you're a magician
No,
more than.
this is probably a Caribbean thing. My parents are from Dominican Republic. I'm from Dominican Republic.
Oh,
I-
you
I-
speak Spanish?
Yeah. This is
Fluently?
my set. This is in my. You've heard my
I
set.
have not heard you said in a long time,
Oh,
Mars.
okay.
This happened with Jackie too. I don't hear.
Yeah, she
Oh.
doesn't listen to anyone but herself. It's fine.
It's not that. It's not that. It's just that I'm all
It's
over the
that.
place.
It's that.
But yeah, looking back, hindsight, I was like, I think my parents ate them. Yeah,
Oh
but
shit.
I had
Your rabbits?
yeah, well, anything.
Mhm.
I had two rabbits when I was a kid, and then one day I came home from like elementary school and they died.
Mm.
But where's the dead body?
Huh?
Where's the dead body?
I
Didn't
don't
see
On
a
know.
the
dead body?
dinner plate,
Yeah,
obviously.
probably on the
Mhm.
dinner plate. Like
And then,
my mom would never tell me what we were eating. I would just eat whatever she gave me.
of course,
So,
yeah.
And then over the years, a couple of goldfish, and then just belly up, and yeah.
Who has goldfish?
That's it. No dog, no
Do you
cat.
have a fish tank now?
No,
Okay.
What do you have now? Do you have any pets?
no, I have no pets.
He's traveling.
Yeah, I travel a lot.
Oh, I didn't know. I had no idea you're Dominican.
Yeah. It's in my set.
¿Podemos hablar español?
Un poquito, pero no
Oh, tú no sabes fluentemente hablar
no,
español.
no, eso no.
Ay,
no
qué
puedo hacer.
pena,
Yeah,
qué
I was
pena.
raised here.
He's faking it.
I was raised in Miami,
Oh God.
which means I still should know Spanish
Yeah.
being raised in Miami. But
Yeah. No.
I get it. So you've been very grateful, blessed. Not too many deaths in your
yeah,
life.
that's why I'm scared of just like in the next 10, 20 years, all the deaths are going to hit.
And then you're gonna need to come back on the show
Yeah.
and talk about it and,
And
cry
then-
and
Guys.
cry and
Yeah.
cry. Yeah, for real.
You're gonna be Mr. Sunny Delight, but the purple grape one,
Okay.
the Moon Delight. I don't know.
All right, let's
Moon
say
to-
you die tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
How do you want your loved ones to celebrate you?
If I think I have recorded one of my worst sets. I just want to play that on like a projector.
Why your
Why
worst
the worst
set?
set?
It's like, look, it's not too bad. At least you're not dying up there like me, right? As they're lowering me into the ground, just like, at least you're not dying like me.
Oh, so you want to be in a casket? You don't want
Yeah.
to be
I
whatever.
don't need a viewing or whatever it's called. Yeah, I don't need it.
No,
no,
you want to be buried. You want to be cremated.
Yeah.
You wanna be-
I mean, who would have a choice in that? After you're dead, people can still do whatever.
No, if you have a will, they have to honor the
Well,
will.
I guarantee my parents will not do that. Whatever I decide, just like, nah, we're in charge now.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Do you have any brothers and sisters?
I'm the oldest of 4.
Oldest. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, if people just watching my worst set, just like, oh, okay. I
I'm
don't.
glad he's gone.
Yeah, I don't want a sad funeral. Like, life is sad enough, man. I don't want to throw.
Ooh,
off
life
that.
is sad enough.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I mean, especially the economy and gas prices and all that traffic. Just
Oh,
like,
Yeah,
God.
fucking gas
Jesus
prices.
Christ.
I'm gonna kill myself over
Yeah.
these gas prices.
I don't honestly. I've never had a struggle for gas. Like gas is just gas, but the traffic though
yeah.
is annoying.
And you know what I
Ah.
noticed? Like traveling, it's a South Florida thing. The problem is here.
Mm.
The rest of the country, they have bad traffic, but it's bad here.
Okay, because everybody wants
Well,
to
what
be here.
about
Can everyone
Atlanta?
leave?
Atlanta, I've done a few Atlanta
What about
shows.
New York?
It's bad. New York, I use public. There's no way I
No.
would drive in New York.
No,
Public
it's stupid.
transit all day. I'll have a homeless person pissing next to me better than being stuck in traffic all day.
Damn, fucking Florida.
And New York is kind of like I think most places you can predict the traffic. There's
Yeah.
certain windows of time you just don't get on the road, and you can be fine with it. But yeah, people were really, because I lived in Atlanta for a year before I came to Florida, and everyone was like, Atlanta's the worst traffic ever. I'm like, it's the same thing as anything. It's
Yeah.
like, don't leave at those times. Like,
Yeah.
it's that simple.
yeah, but
Like,
now in Florida, even on Saturdays and Sundays, the sacred
Well,
times are still 5 o'clock
yeah.
traffic.
no, the traffic, it's not even about the timing. It's the accidents, really. It's
And
like,
then
it doesn't
the
matter what time.
rubbernecking
Yeah.
and all. Oh my god.
No, it's just so, like, it's really bad.
That's so funny. The economy, these gas prices.
Yeah. No, I know. A few times I was close to. I used to when I was working in a warehouse. I used to work for a dialysis company, and like every 2-3 months, somebody was dying. So I would have to go to their house and take all the dialysis equipment out
Oh, shit.
as the family's like crying and everything, and like the pastor there is
Oh,
praying with the
no.
family.
And you're like in the background,
Yeah.
like grabbing everything.
Don't mind me, guys. Yeah.
Were you wearing a
Oh,
special suit when you
God.
did that, or
No. I had
whatever
my,
you want?
No, my work uniform.
Well, okay. What was your work? That's what was your work uniform?
Just a pair of like work
A
pants.
priest
Yeah,
outfit.
Yeah. No, a polo shirt. So yeah.
What color was it? Like
Blue, like navy blue pants, and then like
Oh.
a light blue shirt. But yeah, that's a few times I've been close to. Like I get to know these people after like 2-3 months, and then soon enough, boop. Oh, you got to go to Miss Williams' house. She just passed away. Go get all
Yeah.
the equipment out.
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
Ah.
But at the same time, those families probably want that shit out of there.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
That's the last thing they want to be staring at while they're grieving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is
So-
it? A dialysis machine? What is that?
That's when your kidneys mess up. So they hook you up to a machine that like filters out your blood and like all the liquids in your body. And you got to do that like 2-3 times a week.
That's crazy. You know,
Yeah.
I read a lot about crazy stuff, but like if I'm faced with the reality of it, like, oh yeah, just dialysis machines or kidneys, yeah, whatever. It's
What are
kinda
those
scary.
things that all these people have on the back of their arms that's like
Oh,
those-
that's for diabetes, I think.
just diabetes?
Yeah,
Oh,
so-
those always gross me
Yeah,
out.
because
so
they got
bad.
like plug
Because it's the
something
little
in. Yeah.
blood like
Yeah.
always in the back of
Like
their
hanging
little,
from it.
their
Yeah.
little baggie, and I'm
Yep.
like, what the
What?
fuck?
I've never seen that
Yes,
before.
all these
Yeah.
people have these like little sticker bags. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you're one of them. That sucks, but it's gross.
I've never had that. No.
Well,
I mean,
we're all still relatively young in our 40s, right? Yeah.
God, yeah, the 40s and 30s. So
Yeah.
I am 27.
I'm 65.
Oh god.
I
Horrible
look
life.
amazing.
I still can't believe Mars. You look so different in my eyes now. Because the whole time I was like, he's like 20.
I knew he was like an adult.
No.
20s is not an adult.
I
No.
think maybe that's why I'm so sunny about it. Just like, hey, life sucks, but yeah, after a while, you just got to choose your own level of happiness. So maybe
Yeah.
once you hit your 40s or 50s, you're just like, okay, life is supposed to suck. This is a standard. Yay. And then it goes back
yes.
down. Yeah.
Yes.
So one of the reasons why I wanted to bring up celebrity death and specifically Matthew Perry was thinking about like that guy's on top of the world, like
Mhm.
legit on top of the world, like mansion, jacuzzi overlooking the hills, like
That's for real.
he
or-
has. Yeah, they made so much
Oh,
money
yeah.
off of Friends.
Million,
like, 'cause-
Oh, you're
over
right.
$1 million per episode.
yeah, they made more money than anyone could ever need or want forever.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just a perfect case of money can't buy everyone
Yeah.
happiness, because he was just not happy. And that's the crazy thing of like being grateful for what you
Yeah.
have and not getting stuck in what you wish you
Wait,
could
he
have
wasn't
had.
happy?
No, he was a drug addict,
Yeah,
and
he was clean
got
last
clean
2-3
for-
years.
yeah.
Oh, so I'm sure he overdosed and died in a jacuzzi. Duh.
yeah,
No,
well,
they-
that's
yeah,
it's a little more complicated than
Yeah.
that, but yeah, definitely there was he. This is my thought a lot when it's people who pass, is especially at a younger age. He was only 54.
Mhm.
I feel like you're ready. you're just
Yes.
ready to not be here
Yeah.
anymore. So whether it was specifically like a drug or not taking care of yourself or whatever was the end for him.
Well, it could have been fentanyl because a lot of deaths accidentally happen nowadays because
Yeah.
people don't even want to die. They're just trying to have a little fun and everything's laced with fentanyl. That's why I'm not even into drugs
like
anymore.
even touching it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even into drugs anymore because of the fentanyl crisis.
Yeah, well, I don't have time for drugs, so I would.
Me neither.
I would love to do drugs.
I
just don't
can't
have
tell
time.
if you're being sarcastic. Right
I'm
now.
not. The only drugs I'm into is weight loss drugs. Okay,
I like
I'm into
mushrooms. I
that.
don't have time for mushrooms. I wish I had more time for mushrooms.
I don't even know. I don't like. I'm honestly. I'm so good like being sober. I like drinking a little bit.
You're
but
getting older now.
Yeah.
You're definitely getting older.
Yeah,
No, I definitely- I have
I
more
get
fun.
nervous. No, for some reason now when I take psychedelics, I get really nervous, and I don't want to feel nervous anymore. Like I'm fine. Like I'm good.
But that's
like,
that all is all about where you are and who you're with.
well,
if you
even-
were in a cool place, like
honestly, I still don't feel that way. I think once I buy my house, I have maybe like $100K in savings. I have a different job, and my all that is happening. Then maybe I want to do some drugs.
no, but I'll do like mushrooms and build like a kiddie fort in my living room with twinkly lights and music and soft blankets and stuff like
I
that.
get it,
and
because-
just get like
well,
weird
yeah.
with it. Like you don't have to be doing all this crazy
No, well, that's
shit.
the thing. See, that's the problem. See, because you probably feel very. Yeah, I feel like you. I mean, this is me projecting, but I feel like you're your own boss. You do your thing. You can take time off. You can do whatever you want. You're in your own rental. You're doing you. I'm not necessarily in that situation. Like I still work for somebody. You know, like I'm not necessarily. I'm not really 100% where I want to be yet.
Yeah.
So when I take the psychedelics, it kind of like amplifies
Yeah,
like
it
what are
does.
you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? What? And it's just I don't need the anxiety right
no,
now. You know,
it
what I
is.
mean?
It does amplify where you're at. So yeah.
I'd rather just wait till I'm in a better place.
So wait, with what you were saying about Matthew, that's just like he has quote unquote everything.
Quote unquote.
Yeah. And then once you get quote unquote everything, you think you're gonna be happy there or what?
No, first of all, I'm happy now. I'm talking about taking
Right.
drugs. I'm happy today as I is. I'm talking about
Okay.
taking drugs. For me to take drugs again and actually enjoy them, I have to be in a different place. Because then I'm gonna be in my own home. I'm gonna be making my own money, doing my own thing, and when I take the drugs, I'm gonna be like, hell yeah, party time. Not like, oh my god, I'm at this job, I can't go anywhere.
So-
My comedy career.
You,
know what I mean?
you
Like-
shouldn't be doing any sort of substance if you're not in like a good mental place with
Yeah,
yourself. So
100.
and that's alcohol, that's weed, that's anything.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. And to me, yeah, I might be in an okay place with myself, but one of the reasons why I don't do,
Yeah.
because even when I wasn't in good places, I'm still very good about separating things. Because I'm like, okay, like that stuff doesn't stress me out. If I don't have everything I want, I'm like, okay, what do I have to do? I start planning. What do I have to do to get that?
Well, there's
what could I
fundamental
look at
things.
different?
You know,
But-
there's one thing like, hey, I want a Ferrari. That's one thing. But like,
Yeah.
there's fundamental core things I feel that everybody has and needs to kind of feel safe or like chill. You know, and that's different for everybody. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Maybe, I'm just saying one thing. Like maybe, and I'm just projecting maybe here, but maybe you guys. Because you guys are your own bosses and you're not tied down to a job that you have to clock into every day, and you can really just choose your schedule. Maybe that gives you some sort of like comfort and some sort of like, all right, I'm doing that and it feels good.
I don't know.
I don't think
Well,
that.
well, you said your warehouse job. You said you don't want to go back to the warehouse job.
Never.
So imagine right now.
That would make me kill
Okay,
myself.
well, trying to tell you.
That's
So
100% suicide.
imagine right now you were at a warehouse job right now. You would feel a little bit like I don't want to be there.
I
You'd-
would
you-
never. Yeah, being there, I would never drink. I would never smoke anything.
Correct, but now you're not there. You're in a better place
Because,
or whatever. You know.
I'm not. I'm still. I'm not where I quote unquote want to be.
Of course.
Yeah, but
But I think that for you is a pillar. Like if you were like I think because I'm sure there's a lot of things you want to do, but because you're not doing specifically that, which I felt like to you was a big deal.
yeah,
You feel like, all right, I'm better here than I was before.
Yeah.
You
but
know.
maybe I'm projecting. I don't know. It sounds to me
Yeah.
like do you feel that you have to like earn the right to like be high or get drunk or enjoy
No,
yourself?
not at all. No,
Okay.
because I used to drink and smoke. I used to fucking love doing drugs. I was all about doing drugs.
I feel like I have to earn it.
Yeah, I know.
I
what you
feel
mean.
like I feel like
I don't
yeah.
smoke,
No.
but
No, I mean, I used to be a fucking podhead like hell. It's just I naturally, like, I'm on another place now in my mind. Like, if I wanted to smoke weed and take drugs, trust me, I will smoke weed and take drugs and do whatever I want to do.
I think
Yeah, but I just don't, it's like there's no wanting to. Like, I'm not going to feel good doing it because people get excited about doing drugs. I'm not getting excited. I'm kind of
I
like,
was
I'd rather
never-
not.
yeah.
I'd rather not.
like
But before I was all about the drugs, and now I'm like,
you're definitely getting older now.
meh.
Like
I maybe later when I told you when I'm in the next place in my life,
yeah,
I'm probably gonna get excited about doing drugs again.
you sound like every college kid I perform for. It's like, oh my god, I hate you guys. Yeah, because they're all about like, oh, you want to smoke after show, dude? I'm working right now. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah. Also, because
And I don't smoke, so
I
stop.
can't smoke
Yeah.
anymore.
Smoking weed makes me so paranoid. I can't. Before it didn't. I smoke like 7 times a day. Now I smoke weed, and it's like the whole doubting myself. The whole like, what am I doing? What's going on?
That
I shouldn't have
happened,
said that. I
yeah.
fucking hate that. Like, why do people do that?
Because that happens to me after like 2 drinks. I can have 2 drinks, and then after even in the middle of the second one, I'm just like, I got more work to do. What am I doing? Enjoying myself right now.
This is the death of a party. We've
Yeah.
all had a
what-
death of the party, but
What?
we have to close out. So
Oh,
we are going to end it
no.
on
Yeah, 'cause you got
a
here.
death of a party.
Yeah.
So, Mars, I want you to do a quick little sign off for me in that camera. Tell us where we can follow you.
Feel free to follow me on Instagram at O'Neil Mars. You can just spell it as 1 Mars. And we could talk about Norm Macdonald and how he died of cancer and never told anyone, which is how I think I want to go out. I don't want to
That's
tell anyone.
crazy.
If I have an
Don't tell
illness, I
anyone.
don't want to tell anyone. I
That's
just want to go.
true.
This has been Grimm Gals. See you next time. Maybe.